What if every dream you've ever wished for came true, yet your heart still felt empty? Three brothers believed that success would finally make them happy, but what they discovered changed their lives forever. Before we continue, here's a small request. If you're enjoying this story, please like, follow, and subscribe to stay connected and never miss a new story. The gift they never knew they needed. Three brothers named Grayson, Maddox, and Beckett lived together in a quiet countryside cottage they had inherited from their parents. They worked side by side every day, earning a simple living through honest labor. Their lives were peaceful, they had enough food, a roof over their heads, and each other, yet none of them felt truly satisfied. Every evening, they wondered why happiness always seemed just beyond their reach. One night, while sitting together after dinner, Grayson admitted that he believed owning a magnificent home would finally make him feel successful. Maddox confessed that he dreamed of having a large and thriving business that would free him from financial worries forever. Beckett smiled and said that all he wanted was to meet someone who loved him deeply so he would never feel alone again. They agreed that once those dreams became reality, life would surely be complete. Inspired by their hopes, the brothers left their quiet hometown and worked tirelessly to build the futures they imagined. Grayson dedicated himself to construction and business until he built an elegant estate that became the pride of the community. Maddox invested years of effort into creating a successful company that earned him wealth beyond anything he had imagined. Beckett eventually met an intelligent and caring woman who shared his dreams, and together they built a loving family. For a while, each brother believed he had finally reached happiness. But as months turned into years, the excitement slowly disappeared. Grayson wandered through the halls of his beautiful house and realized it felt larger than his sense of peace. Instead of enjoying his success, he constantly searched for ways to make the house even grander. Maddox became consumed by the pressure of protecting his growing business. Every decision filled him with anxiety, and he worried constantly about losing everything he had built. Beckett noticed that the small imperfections in his marriage began to overshadow the love they once shared. Instead of appreciating his family, he focused on everyday frustrations until his home no longer felt as joyful as it once had. One evening, the three brothers met again and admitted something they had been afraid to say aloud. Even after achieving every dream they once believed would complete their lives, the emptiness remained. They began asking themselves whether happiness had ever depended on those dreams at all. They decided to spend several days away from their busy lives, leaving behind their responsibilities to reflect on everything they had experienced. During that time, they remembered the years when they had owned very little yet laughed together every evening after work. They remembered sharing meals, celebrating small victories, helping one another through difficult days, and feeling thankful simply because they had each other. Slowly, they realized that their happiness had never disappeared because life had become worse. It had disappeared because gratitude had quietly been replaced by endless expectations. Once they achieved one goal, their minds immediately searched for another, making every blessing seem ordinary. That realization changed everything. Grayson stopped comparing his home to larger houses and instead filled it with family gatherings and moments that created lasting memories. Maddox stopped measuring his success only by profit and began appreciating the opportunity to build something meaningful while making time for the people he loved. Beckett chose to focus on kindness instead of perfection, and the warmth in his relationship returned stronger than before. As time passed, the brothers noticed that nothing around them had truly changed. Their house was the same, the business was the same, and the family was the same. The only thing that had changed was the way they looked at their lives. Gratitude transformed ordinary moments into extraordinary blessings. They finally understood that happiness had never been waiting in the future. It had always been quietly growing inside every moment they chose to appreciate. From then on, whenever life became difficult or new desires appeared, they reminded each other that chasing more would never replace valuing what they already had. That simple truth became the greatest treasure they would ever possess. And for the first time in many years, the emptiness they had carried inside disappeared, replaced by a deep sense of peace that no amount of wealth, success, or achievement could ever provide. True happiness does not come from achieving every dream or owning everything you desire. It comes from appreciating what you already have. Gratitude turns ordinary blessings into lasting joy. From that day forward, the three brothers understood that life would always offer new dreams to chase. But no dream could ever replace the peace that comes from a grateful heart. They learned to treasure every ordinary day, celebrate every small blessing, and embrace the people and moments that truly mattered. Their greatest achievement was not the wealth they earned, the home they built, or the success they found. It was discovering that lasting happiness had been within their reach all along. And as the years passed, they lived with contentment, kindness, and gratitude, proving that the richest life is not measured by what we own, but by how deeply we appreciate what we already have. This is the end of the story.